Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, have you heard about that new German GPS system? Apparently it's great, until you get to Stalingrad. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of that fateful system, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Scope Stalingrad from Draco Ideas. Hello everybody, we'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out, please subscribe, and now, back to the review. In Scope Stalingrad from Draco Ideas, two players are going to take on the roles of either the Wehrmacht or the Red Army during the Battle of Stalingrad in the infamous sniper duel. Now, there's a lot of different bells and whistles. There are different kind of variations and scenarios you can play with this game. I just want to tell you about the basic rules for the game, how they work, and give you my thoughts. Players have a number of cards, and depending on the scenario, you're going to select a number of those cards, which include things like snipers, officers, mortar units, machine guns, various other things, as well as just empty spaces. You're going to go ahead and you're going to lay these cards down in a grid depending on the scenario you're playing. Now, after you've laid out the cards in the grid, essentially you can do two actions. The Germans always go first. Your first action is you can essentially search. You can point to a card in the other person's line, they flip over that card, and then you can make a decision. Do you want to shoot that card? If you decide to shoot that card, then you go ahead, you remove that card from their play area, and you take it as a trophy. Some of these cards have are worth certain point values. Other cards aren't worth anything, so you don't want to shoot them. But once you have taken a shot, you actually place a bang card within a grid of 4 cards. So it rests on top of 4 different cards. That's going to tell the enemy that the shot came from that direction and that underneath one of those 4 cards is one of your snipers. The second action you can do is move. Essentially, when you take a move action, you can pick any 4 cards in a grid and you can collect them and then reshuffle them, move them around however you want, so the enemy will not know where exactly in that location a sniper could be. Players are going to go back and forth, taking turns shooting at their opponents and moving around their own cards until they kind of meet the specific win conditions of a scenario. Usually that scenario's win conditions are going to be as soon as all of the enemy's snipers are eliminated, or if you reach a certain number of game points by shooting your opponent's soldiers. So whoever is the first to find all of those enemy snipers or reach that certain point total wins Scope Stalingrad. So Scope Stalingrad is an incredibly quick game. This is a very quick game. It's kind of a memory game, but not entirely a memory game. There's a lot of other funky stuff going on here. But it's reminiscent of a memory game with the cards laid out. This is a very quick game. Like I say, 5 minutes for some of these shorter scenarios. I haven't played any of the real big ones. Most of the games I played have just been the kind of 3x4 grids, and they're over in easily less than 5 minutes. But there's still some tactical choices there. Okay, I know he's got a sniper there, somewhere in there. And of course, there's just kind of the what information do I have to kind of narrow down where that sniper could be. But then there's also that thing of, okay, he revealed a card that's got a point value, but do I want to, is it worth it right now to reveal myself to just go for the point value? I mean, certainly if it's if you've only got one sniper left, you're not going to take that many chances. If you got more than one sniper, maybe there's room to explore there. So that's a very interesting dilemma there. So really what this game comes down to for me is the theme. And of course, it's a very abstract game. The theme is relatively light, but of course it's fun seeing the pictures of the soldiers and what have you there. And as I say, there's other stuff in kind of the more advanced games. You can use mortars and machine guns and stuff like that. So there's stuff you can build on it here with. It's bigger than just what I've described. But for what it is, it's fun. It's a great light kind of opener. You won't tax your brain too much, but you can just have some goofy fun with a friend. I really had fun with Scope Stalingrad. I think this is one I'll play and perhaps maybe play with I can see myself playing this with younger people, or certainly people new to the hobby, but just kind of a great icebreaker for a couple of people on a game night. Really enjoyed Scope Stalingrad for what it is, and the recommendation for the discriminating gamer is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and fun things like that. I actually make some historical videos on World War II and other topics, so please check that out. Please subscribe. And I'd also ask you to please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That helps us out a lot. You know, ladies and gentlemen, World War II jokes about Russians are getting really old. But they just keep coming.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Join the Superhero Registration Act. Never. Don't do drugs.